I was able to book 4 calls in a single day with qualified leads just from outreach alone, as you can see here. But I am not the only one booking calls, because my clients are also winning. And here is my client Marco. He's doing both inbound and outbound outreach, and as you can see here, he's booking calls, he's closing deals for his agency and coaching business. So for example here, in one single day he closed a $500 client, then just 1 hour after that he managed to close another 1k client just from outreach alone. And this shows the importance of having the right outreach strategy in place, because if you don't have a clear strategy, it's going to be insanely hard for you to book calls. So in this video I'm going to break down the exact method me and my clients use to book calls and close deals from outreach, so make sure to watch the entire video. So the first step will be to identify your ICP, and if you don't know what ICP stands for, it basically means ideal client profile, which is your target audience. And it's super important that you're being clear for this, because firstly it's going to be much easier for you to create content, and it's also going to be easier for you to find the right people to do outreach to if you know exactly who your ICP is. And here are a few ways that you can follow if you want to be able to really find who your actual target audience is, because that's super important. So the first way is by asking yourself these type of questions. So firstly, who are they, their story, what do they look like, what are they passionate about, short-term goals, long-term dreams, biggest fears, biggest struggles, what transformation do they want, how does their brand offer solve their problem or get them closer to their dreams, preferred platforms, and content they consume, etc. So these are the type of questions you need to ask yourself. But if you already have clients that you're currently working with, I always recommend you to send them a feedback form once you have closed them. And in that form you should just basically ask questions about why they actually decided to start working with you, if they had any objections, etc. Because that's super important, and it will also get you a clear picture on who your actual ICP/target audience is. Then we have the second step, which is optimizing your profile, which is insanely important if you're doing outreach, because no one will ever respond to you if your profile doesn't look professional and positions you as the authority. For example, I get around, I don't know how many people that are actually messaging me, but I'm getting tons of people with 70 followers and have no profile pictures trying to do outreach to me and think they will close me. But that's not how it works. You need to optimize your profile, and here's exactly how you can do that. So firstly, the profile picture. You should have a clear profile picture of your face, and it should match your branding. Then when it comes to the bio, you should have proof, explain who you're helping, your method, and have a clear CTA. So for example, I have my business page linked at the top, where I just show all the results that I've been generating for my clients, which is a lot of trust and it's proof. Then I help coaches and agencies scale using our content to client system. I firstly explain who I'm helping, then the method, which is the content to client system. Then I have a CTA, learn how it works, so I get people to my YouTube channel, because that's where the real conversion actually happens. And here just an example of a great bio that I created for one of my clients, just so you understand. So firstly, he is a fitness coach, so his username is just fitness with Brent, super clean. Then he has his first name, last name, online fitness coach in his name. Then the first sentence is from 120 pounds to confident and strong, builds a lot of trust, shows proof that he has been in their position before. Then I help men get ripped by keeping shit simple with zero fluff and only what actually works, using the simple method. As you can see here, he's explaining his own method, which is super important because that's how you stand out. Then he have in the last sentence, DM me start to get ripped in 90 days. And this call to action will drive so many people to his DMs, because who the fuck does not want to get ripped in 90 days? Then super important to have a clear story highlights in place when you're doing this, because here is where most of the people who are going to get on your profile is going to click. So it's super important that they are looking professional, positioning you as the leader and authority, etc. So here are the few different ones that I recommend you to have, no matter what niche you are in. So firstly, you should always have one called client wins, clients, client results, whatever you want to call it, as you can see here. And in this one, just show client wins and focusing on building trust, showing social proof. Then we have one called Start Here. This is the one that most people that are going to get to your profile are going to click on. And in this one, just show your story, show proof, position you as the authority, explain your method in depth on how you actually help people. Then by the end of it, you should have a call to action, either to a free resource like a YouTube video, or just to a website or to your DMs. Then we had one called Proof. This is also super important, and in this one you should just basically show that what you actually do works, and this will build a lot of trust. Then we had one called Personal. This is where you just show your your life, document your journey, etc., because people buy into you as a person. That's something you have to realize. But now, when it comes to the actual outreach, there are two different ways to do this in. We have firstly inbound and outbound outreach, but let's start with inbound. And if you don't know what inbound means, it basically is people that are coming from your personal brand, not people that you're actually reaching out to, or like people who have already engaged with your content, etc., or maybe following you. And these are warm leads because they already know you and they have seen your content, so they are already pretty nurtured and they already trust you, so these are going to be way easier to actually get on a call with. And this is exactly how I do it and how I teach my clients to do outreach, and this is of course a very simplified version, but it's going to be insanely valuable. So we had the core principle: don't say thanks for following, follow or are you here for coaching, or your generic lines. They don't work, because I see so many people in this info space having the same automated message that they are sending out to all people that are starting to following them, which is basically just appreciate the follow, are you here just for the content or for the actual coaching. But that doesn't work anymore, because like you need to make your prospect feel different. People will understand that is just an automated message, and they are not just ready to go and buy your coaching directly. Like, no one will respond to that. And instead, you have to be human, personal and casual when it comes to responding to people. And when you're doing outreach to someone who has actually interacted with your content before or is following you, I recommend you to just respond to a story, post, or comment on something that they have shared. For example, if they are in the gym, like they post for example a picture of themselves in the gym, then I always recommend you to just ask something about that, like, yo bro, how long have you been going to the gym? Just so you start a conversation in a normal way. Don't sound like you want to sell them directly. And then we have the step 1, open the conversation. So as I've just said, you should, for example, respond to a story. Start with a natural conversation. Don't sound salesy, because no one will ever respond to you if you do that. Then it's super important that you're building quick rapport. Don't take too much time on this part, and don't ask too many questions, because they are not gonna respond if you're like asking, I don't know, 20 questions in the DMs. You just simply want to get on a call with them. But of course, first you have to ask a few questions so you can ensure that they are actually the right fit for your coaching or service, whatever you're selling. Just keep it light and personal, just enough to connect. Comment on something they have shared or their interest. Ask one short open-end questions. Where are you right now with their specific goals, etc. Just try to get to know them a little bit better. Then once you, for example, have just started a normal conversation, talked about, I don't know, something else about the gym, then of course you have to start talking more about the actual thing that you're selling, but not say it. Like, for example, you should start asking about their goals, what they're struggling with, etc. But don't ask too many questions, since you want to do that in the call. Then we have soft transition to call. Once they respond, introduce the call with an over-explaining. Got it, bro. Would it help if I made a simple plan to get you to your goal in the next few weeks? If yes, move to booking. So you just want to keep it super simple. I recommend you to just make a voiceover or like make a video to them so they feel very personal, and just, for example, say that yo bro, just check my calendar here and I've got some time for tomorrow and for this weekend. If you just simply would be up for a quick call. It's of course 100% up to you, but in the call I'm just going to explain how everything is going to work. I'm actually going to share my screen also, so I can just show you all the systems that we're going to implement into your business, so you really understand that. And keep in mind, it's 100% up to you, so don't feel any pressure about it. Because the thing is that the reason to why that was a so good message is because when you're saying that it's 100% up to you, you will not sound salesy and you will not sound pushy. People will like see that call more as a connection call where they get to know you better, and you don't want to sound too salesy, as I've said like 5 times now. Then when it comes to booking the call, you want to keep that super simple. I recommend you to do it for them. So for example, you ask them question, yes or no question, instead of just sending them a Calendly link. Because of course some people are going to work like book a call if you just send them the Calendly or your booking page, but many people are not gonna do that and they will just ghost you from there. So instead, you want to keep it as simple as possible for them. For example, you can ask, will tomorrow 7 p.m. or Wednesday 4 p.m. work better for you? Then they give you an answer on that. Ask about your time zone, and then you just simply have it there. You basically just ask them 3 simple questions, yes or no questions that they can answer, because that is going to increase your booking rate a lot. And here are just some keynotes for you. So focus on quick rapport, soft intro, then book them on a call. Send voice messages and personal responses, because it will increase your reply rates. And don't sit down and overanalyze and dig too deep and get them. Instead, you should just get them on a call super fast, and don't overthink this shit. In the beginning, everything is going to suck, I can tell you that. I think I've been sending at least 500 cold DMs before I managed to book my first call. But in that process, I learned so much. So it's all about just putting yourself out there and actually doing it, because you will never get good at this by just sitting down and watching this video. You have to do it yourself and put yourself out there. And then of course, following up with them consistently. That is super important. You should do that at least once every single week, because the money is made in the follow-ups. Then, now let's talk about the outbound outreach. So this will be a little bit harder, since all the people that you're going to speak to now are cold because they have never seen you before. It's just you simply reaching out to them through the DMs. And this is exactly how you should do that. So firstly, you open up the conversation. This is a cold DM, so your only goal is to get permission and offer value to them. Because the thing is that I get so many people messaging me, having like a fucking long sentence like this of a text, sending it to me, and think I will actually put my time to responding to them and actually reading through that message. No one will ever respond to your message if you have a too long message and talking about yourself. You should never do that. Only focus on them. Don't try to pitch them something. Just instead give upfront value to them, because that's how you actually build trust with them, and that's how you actually get them to trust you. Because if you never offer something upfront for them, they will not trust you, and they will just see you as everyone else out there. Because the thing is that those who are willing to go that extra mile when it comes to cold outreach are the ones who's going to win. Because most people are just so fucking lazy when it comes to this, and that's why they can't book any calls. And what I usually send, and like of course it will be a different niches, but what I usually send is I recorded a free video reviewing your page and business, want me to send it over. Super simple, just 2 short sentences. I'm giving free upfront value, plus I'm asking for permission. This is what you want to do. Just keep it short, clear, give upfront value, and have no pressure on them. Second step is to create a free resource, and what I recommend is to create a Loom video. And this of course depends on what niche you are in, but I am in the niche where I help coaches and agencies scale. So once you have said yes, send a Loom video to them, and in that Loom you should have 2 parts. So in the first part of that Loom video, you should basically, and this is of course an example, this can look a little bit different for different niches as I've said, but in this example you can for example have a first part in that Loom video where you basically just review their page and their business and explain exactly what they have to focus on if they want to actually scale, what systems they need, what they have to improve, what's holding them back. So you just instantly position yourself as the authority and can show that you know what you're talking about and you're just giving upfront value to them. Then second part of that video should be you showing a simple presentation on exactly how you can get them to where they want to be, and in that presentation just show as much proof as possible of your client results. But if you of course don't have any client wins, you can use yourself as the proof, because you're the best proof out there. And by the end of this video, say, if you want, we can break this down properly on a call and map out exactly how to get there, and don't feel any pressure about it. It's 100% up to you. That's exactly what you want to send in the end of the video. And of course most people will ghost you after that first video, but as I've said, many people are actually going to respond. But keep in mind, the money is made in the follow-ups, so that's why you need to follow up every single week, because that's where most of my calls are being booked. So that's super important. Step 3 is to transition it into a call, because they are cold and you must make this feel optional and safe. You don't want to be too pushy here, because they have never heard about you before and like they don't trust you. That's why you need to ask for permission all the time. An example message here, no pressure at all, but if you want we can just jump on a quick call. I will walk you through the exact system and what it takes to hit X amount of, I don't know, revenue, etc. Then explain it clearly what the call is going to be about, so they don't just think you're going to sit there and pitch them. That's not what you want. You should, for example, say that in the meeting I'm going to show exactly how the systems are going to work and exactly how you can scale to a specific level, and make it clear that it's 100% up to them. Then we have booking the call. So as I've showed you before, people are lazy. Give them options instead. So for example, would tomorrow 8 p.m. or Wednesday 4 p.m. work better? Once they have chosen, log it in, get their WhatsApp number. That's super important, because the response rates on WhatsApp and the showing rate is going to increase so much if you have them on WhatsApp. And just keep it very simple and clean, and make it clear that you're going to send them the actual meeting link 5 minutes before. Then here is exactly how you should follow up the right way, because here's where the money is made. So for example, before the call you should message them the same morning as you have the call. Then message them 1 hour before, plus then you just send them the meeting link 5 minutes before. But of course, if they are booking through a Calendly link, you can also set up automations that is doing it for you, but otherwise you have to do it yourself, which I also recommend, since that is going to increase the show up rate a lot, because people love when you're just being personal to them and when they are feeling when they are like feeling special. Then here's an example. Looking forward to our call today. Got your plan ready. Just send this superhuman. People will actually respond to it and they will show up. So it's super important. For people who don't reply, follow up once a week or every second week. Stay human. Have no pressure and no generic lines. Just restart the conversation naturally. And here are just some keynotes for you that's going to help you a lot. So give value up front. That's super important. Keep the message short and send voice messages and videos so you keep it super personal to them, and don't over explain things in the DMs, and just follow up to close more calls. That's super important. So this is the exact outreach method that me and my clients use to book calls and close deals. So if you want to work one-on-one with me, you can just click the link below this video and book your call now.